you are very, very, renowned for criticizing the North that you belong, the northern part of Nigeria, I mean. The North has been clamoring for retention of political power. They even want it, probably 2027. I mean, before I even go further, how does that sound to you, considering the delicate issue of North-South balancing in terms of political power distribution? Well, I mean,
I think it is insensitive and unreasonable. There's something that the North does not understand. Nigeria is a fragile compromise. Very fragile.
Sorry, take this together. Is the North willing to stick with Tinubu, or they want to chart a new course?
Okay, let me start with this.
Okay.
If the North, as Nigerians, if they are satisfied with Tinubu,
Yes,
they should go for another Southern.
you are a good student of history, economics, and all of that. I mean, you are a leading public affairs analyst. The incumbent president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the administration, of course, they bandy all kinds of statistics, data from the MBS and all of that. It will show inflation has reduced, and all of that. But Nigerians would have a different opinion. My question is, has President Tinubu done enough, in your views, to deserve, re-election?
No.
Beyond politics?
No. Absolutely not. There's left us worse than the methods. But what are the alternatives?
Yeah, that's the next question. So, what's the alternative?
It's not available now. I talked
How
about.
do you mean?
You see, democracy rests on two legs. Democratic governance rests on two legs. What is government and what is the opposition?
Yeah.
We are Nigerians. We don't need to even talk about whether Tinubu has succeeded or not. On all indices of development, the Tinubu government has not performed.
Insecurity.
And the funny thing, or rather the good thing, the president will tell you that his reforms is here to eat food, that it is still in the incubation stage. So even they know that they have not done well. But the only thing is that give us promissory note to say, no, what we are doing now is going to give you pain that will result into gain later. But until that later, for now, he does not deserve re-election. However, the opposition has not been able to bring up an alternative to Tinubu's economic policies, to the practices of the APC as a party. No alternative in the horizon. That's why I said Nigeria is not only suffering from failure of government. Nigeria is suffering from failure of opposition. That is even more imperative, and that is what we should focus on going forward. The opposition has no alternative to what Tinubu has done.
Let me put it. How will the opposition, because this is what people are saying, how will the opposition have a united voice, maybe individual political parties, when the institutions of state have been, mobilized by the ruling APC to destabilize the opposition parties?
I don't agree with this line of thinking.
Why not?
Because I am close enough to the political system to know that the problems in the APC, in the PDP, the Labour Party, and others are self-inflicted.
How?
Failure of leadership of opposition. How did the PDP run into trouble? Before the primary election of PDP in 2022, I had written a publicly publicized article where we warned the PDP that if we are to give another ticket, go to 2023 election, that the people will lose the election and sink into oblivion. Tinubu was the president then. That happened. Labour Party would have been the next opposition party in Nigeria, next front of opposition, because it was propelled to power by people power, from oblivion to the third party in the parliament and the third performing party in the presidential election, when PDP won equal number of states with other contestants. But what happened? I began to get feelers during the inauguration of the National Assembly about certain conduct of Labour Party members, which I felt shouldn't be. Yes. If you have been the product of free votes, of people power, you shouldn't go to the parliament and begin to indulge in the kind of things that the APC and Labour Party will do. No, I called the attention of some Labour Party leaders to say, look at your members in the National Assembly, something is going wrong there. Nobody responded. I had to write about it. I had to comment about it. So, something is happening in the National Assembly that is akin to betraying the effort of Nigerians. That was the major failure we experienced in opposition. Before that was happening, started the campaign to the APC. And today, you can't point to any Labour Party MP, a party that people mobilized behind to defeat the president in his home state, in his federal constituency as well. you cannot hear, there's no voice of the Labour Party platform that you can say this is the pro-people's voice on the floor of the National Assembly. You can't hear of any. In all of this.
Would you say then that this failure of this opposition party is attributable to a total lack of ideology in opposition?
Exactly. And political sagacity. You see, if you can't lead an opposition, you can't lead the country.
Absolutely.
No, you can't. Because leading a political party is a precaution of how you're going to lead the larger society. So we've not had enough conversation about that. Let's just focus on government has failed. For instance, it's been 2.5 years that the Tinubu government removed subsidy on petrol, floated the Naira, among many other policies. Do you know that none of the leading opposition figures have come up with a concrete alternative to what this man has done? None. None. The other day, ADC was adopted as a coalition party by some of our friends, And I met some of them and I said, come. Please, within the next few weeks, as you're unveiling ADC as a party, unveil it alongside your own thinking around some of these critical issues. The Nigerians are no longer interested in Tinubu is bad, APC is bad, and then people come back. No, it's not going to happen. It happened in 2015, it happened in 2023. People are wiser, and people are now looking for what exactly do you want to do different? The ADC has wasted its time between when it was unveiled. It was only last week. After the media, I've watched the spokesperson Abdullahi on different media platforms be asked, after you've criticized the president, what do you want to do in the alternative? And he will always say, we are setting up a committee to look at our manifesto. It was only last week that they set up an elaborate committee to set up manifesto. How can a political party launch ahead of its own manifesto? It's like a human being that was born without a brain. It's like a car without a brain box. How can you have launched? You started criticizing Tinubu without having a manifesto as an alternative to what they're going to do in place of what Tinubu is doing. Is that not failure of opposition?
Well, I know their counter arguments will be that, you want to sleep, but somebody's trying to put fire everywhere, so you can't sleep, and then in the morning somebody's asking you, why are your eyes red?
But you know my views on a number of issues.
Absolutely. Majeed, we need to run, but then it will be remiss of me if I don't take your views on this, 2 or 3 short, just give me short responses. Be honest, my brother. In 2027, are we going to have a genuine election, or we're just going to have, just a coronation, as it were?
A coronation. Tinubu will go into that election as the most unpopular sitting presidential candidate in the history of anywhere in the world, but might likely emerge victorious with a very wide margin of victory because of the failure of opposition.
What role would money play? Because there's this school of thought that, in fact, I was reading some brilliant article, in the last couple of days where, someone was alleging, and I emphasize alleging, that part of the APC core ideology is to pauperize Nigerians so as to make money politics, when the time comes for election, they just give people handouts and the right results.
Can I shock you?
Yes.
The APC federal government will not have enough money to fund its own election. But the federal government is broke from its own policies. We are about to dash Nigeria to Tinubu on a platter because of the failure of opposition. What I'm saying now is to someone to wake up call to the opposition to know that we are failing. You know what I'm saying is, no Nigerian will go to the polling units and waste his or her time to vote for any party without a clear-cut
Ideology.
It will happen this time around. So there will be apathy. And what is apathy? The ruling party will have a field day.
Next question, Majeed. Are we secure today than before?
No,
of course, I know. Yeah. Now, because 2 days ago, just yesterday or 2 days ago, look at the scores that were slaughtered, in Kwara State. Should any commander-in-chief be re-elected, even if it's just on this alone? Should any commander-in-chief be re-elected?
That's what I said. Alternative. If I don't say an alternative,
Yes.
I won't vote for the commander-in-chief. But I won't vote for the alternative. So those that are benefiting, that think that is doing well, what's the concern? We'll have a field day. What I'm saying is simple. If on the morning of election on the election day in 2027, I do not see anybody that is promising me something different from what Tinubu has done. I will sit in my house, and Tinubu's friends will go and vote for him. This is a wake-up call to the people to say, Give me an alternative now
Brilliant.
that will make me be able to come out and vote against Tinubu.
Brilliant. Last question. Let's do a scenario.
Yes.
Peter Obi emerges, one way or the other, on any platform, maybe not ADC, maybe Labour, whatever platform he emerges as the candidate. Would you advise Nigerians to vote for Peter Obi? And what chances does he, stand against a moving train, in Tinubu and the APC?
Okay, let me put it this way.
And even if not Peter Obi, maybe Adebayo Adewale of the SDP or Omoyele Sowore of the...
I won't tell Nigerians who to vote for.
Yes, okay.
I'm not about campaign spokesperson. What I can say is this. If the ADC has presently coalesced, decide to throw the part of common sense and logical reason as, okay, let the South have his full time.
Yeah.
And then Obi has said, I will do one term. Okay, come and take the ticket. Let's work support him to win the primary election. And then the northern elements within the ADC go back to their region and work for his emergence. Not that you don't give somebody a ticket and go and sit down. No, you go back there and actively campaign for him. Based on his personality trait and for the qualities that have set him aside a bit as better. If they add that with an alternative ideological leaning, an alternative solution to Tinubu's to Tinubunomics and all of that, if they add that to the personality of Peter Obi, it can portend a strong challenge to Tinubu, even if they have 36 state governors. But anything short of this kind of arrangement I've just pointed, where you have a candidate from the north of the country, the south, who is popular, who people can stake their time and their resources for, it's very important, like Iroele, and also comes with an idea that says, look, where Tinubu has done A, I will do B. Where Tinubu did Z, I will do Y. Where Tinubu did W, I will do U. That we would have been on the path now to recovering Nigeria from a government that has not performed and that has actually stagnated our growth. But otherwise, it cannot be repeated. Tinubu go to the next election as very unpopular. Very unpopular. But to emerge victorious with a very wide margin of vote because of the failure of opposition.
That would be a great irony. But last now, what is the electoral path to victory for any other opposition candidate? What is the electoral path to victory of any of the...
In today's Nigeria, you must be ideologically sophisticated. We are a 26-year-old democracy. We've had all sorts of... You see, we are like a serially jilted lover. We become frigid, though. It will take much more than just words of mouth to arouse our interest now. So you have to go much more beyond that to prove to us around that if we accept you, you won't jilt us.
Are Nigerians as sophisticated as you think? Are you not giving considering too much to Nigerians in terms of...
Look at what happened in 2023. A group of young men came out, funded themselves, and prepared Peter Obi almost victory in the last election. Oh, in fact, some people believe he won the election. But okay, the fact that he won 12 states, 11 plus 1, along with other heavyweight politicians, is a testament to how far our democracy have come of age. Nigerians are watching and listening. And for those of us that are in the media, we can gauge the pulse of the people and their line of thinking. What I'm saying is, people will no longer be impressed if you don't come up with a concrete solution, line by line, with what these people are doing. You can't tell me you remove subsidy, and remove subsidy and you are not turning around to complain, without telling me that I have realized that it was a wrong policy, I'll go back on it. You can't tell me you're going to float the naira. Tinubu has floated the naira. And I said, okay, I've realized that this was a wrong policy, I would have gone back on it, and going forward, I will do the alternative of so and so. It has to be well stated. Because people have elected a good man in Buhari. It was disaster for 8 years. People are saying, are you sure just being a good man?
It's enough.
It's enough. Now so we've come of age. If we didn't have the 2015 experience and 2023 experience in the House of Labour Party MPs, I don't know what I'm saying now. But we now want something, we want to see a political party that is well structured, that will prevent what happened to the Labour Party from happening. A party that is truly made up of patrons, that will serve as the brain boss of our democracy, with that level of integrity. Look, nobody wants to go for a presidential candidate that bought votes at delegate level to a as candidate, because we know that he's going to pay back that investment. We want to see complete, and it's not too late, a complete paradigm, a shift from this status quo to a process that can produce a very, very ripe fruit that is not rotten. Nigerians will on their own vest their legitimacy on such a platform. But anything short of this, we are playing to the hands of this because people are fatigued already. Are you sure they're not same of the same? Okay, look at the ADC composition. Move to me from ADC. Which of the leaders of ADC can inspire any Nigerian to leave his house and trek for kilometers to mount vigilance at a bully unit just to protect his road? Tell me which of them they can inspire.
So Atiku cannot, Peter Obi cannot?
I said, apart from Peter B,
Okay.
who somehow has maintained a posture of I'm different from the others.
Yes.
Single him out. Look at the other members.
Not ADC, Omoyele Sowore or Adebayo Adewale.
Adebayo is a very brilliant, one of the most brilliant politicians I've ever seen in Nigeria. But you know, sometimes it's not about your individual. You must put it to practice. I wish Adebayo can found a political party and then run the party and its internal processes along his own ideals for starters. Then we can now say, okay, ignore the messenger, look at his message, look at his methodology, and follow. But as it stands, he's not been able to found the party and lead one another. He's just an individual speaking. But otherwise, he's a very brilliant Nigerian. Sowore is a very patriotic Nigerian. We see activism alone is not enough to mobilize the entire country. Nigerians are actually conservative in nature. So excessive activism put off Nigeria.
So Nigeria is not ready for a disruptor.
It's kind of, they are not ready for such kind of disruption. But if you can work your way through the system, a bridge between solid disruption and an evolutionary growth, Nigerians are in for it. But I'm saying today again, ideological sophistication, clarity is relevant now to kickstart Nigerians into that path of securing votes for an alternative platform. Otherwise, people would simply tell you, what if I do all of this? And it turned out to be what happened in 2023. Where do we go from there?